Hi, my name is Keith and I'm known as a Florida Stone Man, and today I'm going to be talking to you all about how do crystals work. Now, before I get into this video topic, I've mastered belts and they're not going to be on a website for a while, but I finally mastered the art of belts, which I couldn't have done that without God's help. I couldn't have done that without any kind of divine help, because that was just like an adventure on its own. I took an electrical tool that I actually broke in one of my TikTok lives. It almost broke a window because it shot the thing out, and I just at least I got it correct. They have different styles of creating necklaces and different styles of creating bracelets that are not even online or people cannot replicate. To come up with my own individual styles is very unique, and it's took me a very long time to get to where I'm at, and I'm very happy and grateful that I'm able to produce such beautiful jewelry. It is on my website, floridastoneman.com, but I'm going to get into this topic. Speaking of crystals and crystal jewelry, how do crystals work? How do these work? How do you use crystals? What can you do to make your crystals work? I'm not sure how long of a video this is because it's a very simple topic, but in order for you to have your crystals work for you, and because the difference between crystals, roots, and herbs is that crystals, they work by themselves. They're kind of like computers. They're just automatic. They're kind of like Wi-Fi or routers. They're always doing stuff. Like some herbs don't do anything until you activate them, and certain herbs can be activated to do multiple things. Certain herbs can just do one thing. Certain herbs can do, it just really depends. Like for example, rosemary. You can use rosemary for feminine empowerment, especially if you want Beyonce energy. Rosemary is very good for that. It's very powerful. Let's talk about an herb like, what's it called? Agrimony, which is a very good herb. It can act as a deflective shield, but then it can also act for good luck as well. They go hand in hand, but if you program agrimony to act as a defensive shield and send negative energy back, versus you program the agrimony to attract good luck towards you because it's a yellow flower, and it can attract good luck. It's not online, but it does attract good luck. It's a versatile herb, but it's less likely to do everything unless you tell it to do everything. Crystals, just on their own, they're more automatic. You don't necessarily have to program crystals for them to work, but you need to program them because you need to make your intention clear. Because a crystal, let's grab a giant piece of an obsidian just randomly sitting on my desk. So what is this obsidian doing? Did I program it? Okay, yes, I programmed it, but before I programmed it, it's still working. It works the second it gets to my doorsteps, even though it's just fully unprogrammed. So it's acting like a defensive shield. It sends negative energy back. It's very vicious against negative energy. And it's doing its job. It's warding off dark entities just because it's around, but it's not been programmed. So what if I want this obsidian, for example, to help me do shadow work? Now you would program the obsidian specifically to carve out the inner enemy in you and to help you do shadow work. So obsidian's very, very powerful at doing multiple things, and it will do multiple things, but you have to program it, especially to make it clear to your guides and to your angels and to your ancestors that, hey, I would like this to help me with this. And one thing they can do is they'll actually pull some of the energy off the obsidian and then use it in different ways. So obsidian, this is a cool example. Obsidian has been used as a surgical knife, as weapons. So instead of not making your intention clear and you just kind of leaving it on your desk and be like, okay, your guides are kind of just there like, oh, I think he or she wants them to be protected, or if they haven't said their intentions, because your guides can't, not all of your spirit guides and angels can just automatically read your mind. They have telepathy. They can, but the thing is, they shouldn't even have to. Just make your intention clear. It makes it easier for them instead of for them trying to figure out, okay, like what's he doing today? Okay, so he wants to do shadow work. But if you just flat out make your intention clear, like, hey, I would like this obsidian to carve out my inner enemy, and specifically not just to protect me, but to viciously send back any negative energy, because obsidian can do that, but you have to specifically program obsidian to do it, even though it'll do it on its own. It just makes it very clear to God, to your guides, and that's the easiest way for you to program them. Now, how do you use your crystals after you program them? That's what this video is going to be titled, how to use and program your crystals, or just how to use your crystals. You cleanse them and charge them after you program them, and you just carry them around. You put them on different chakras, and that's it. You just carry it around. But it makes it so simple. Like, you just carry it around. Yeah, you have to cleanse and charge it every single day. It took me a very long time to realize, how often should I cleanse and charge my crystals? I'm like, should I do this every other day? Should I do this like... If you wear your crystal all day long and you've had a day, maybe it was a good day, but maybe something bad was trying to get to you. Maybe you had a bad day and the obsidian helped. Maybe you had an okay day, a little good, a little bad. Obsidian helped, right? So you take it with you until tomorrow, but you don't cleanse it. Now, whatever was the residual from yesterday is still on the obsidian, and you're still kind of dealing with yesterday. And now you're like, this is 2 days in a row I'm really having to deal with this. I'm like, it's because you never wiped it off the obsidian. Specifically for obsidian, you can leave it in the sunlight. It'll cleanse and charge it in a super powerful method. Easiest way is just when you go to bed, leave it on your selenite. People want to wear their jewelry to sleep. Wear crystals. You can wear crystals to sleep. You can put them in your pillows. You should have a separate set of jewelry, or a separate set of crystals to put near your bed so that they are fully active. So for example, like you have, and I would put only common crystals near your bed, because some people do get a little interrupted with like hematite around their bed or cornelian to their bed. It is possible to help them sleep, but for most cases, in a most case scenario, hematite will keep you up, citrine will keep you up. Maybe I'll make a whole video about which crystals will keep you up, but how to cleanse and charge your crystals is, I've made videos on that, and it's very easy. Just leave it by selenite. Fall asleep, put it by selenite. You don't have to Palo Santo, you don't have to rosemary, you don't have to burn anything, you don't have to burn cinnamon to cleanse it. That's it. You can if it's had a really rough day, just to make it, when you cleanse it with Palo Santo, cinnamon, sage, whatever, it just makes it easier for the selenite to cleanse and charge it. That's about it. Now, how do you use the crystal? Depends. There's an environmental effect. You have the crystal in your environment. It's working on everything in your environment. Or it's working on you. And there's a sea of ways that it'll actually work on you. Now, when you put pyrite at your desk, for example, it's pulling wealth, manifestation, and business ideas towards you. It's just helping you ground. It's helping you, that pyrite's just configuring your mind for you to be more realistic. And it's a crystal of manifestation in a way that's just kind of like, it's just pulling you forward. It's grounding you. It's keeping you in the present, but it's helping you get realistic about your goals to the point where you can actually manifest them. Now, what happens when you put it on you? The same thing, but it's more direct. It's extremely more direct. It's because when it was on his desk, it's little, and I like to call them like little, just invisible webs, or like, you know, those spherical balls, like the spherical balls with the electricity shooting all in them and around them, and you touch them, they all go to your finger. You can think of that as a crystal. Well, that's a really good example, because I didn't really think of that before. But they're just shooting all around, but when you touch them, all the energy is going to you, and it's pulling different kind of energies towards you and aligning you with different energies. But when you have it on you, and it does matter how you use the crystal on your body. So if you're using the crystal in your pockets, yeah, it's going to do its job. It's either doing the yin or the yang. The major reason I love selling and making necklaces and just creating different versions of necklaces and just beautiful, because that's my signature. Necklaces are just my number one thing. I mean, my necklaces are kind of beat up because they've been through some kind of, I'm not very, what's it called? I'm not very nice on my necklaces. I'm very like hardcore, and I'm just all around. I wear them to the gym, and I'm all about it. But one of the reasons I like selling necklaces more than I like selling bracelets is because they cover the yin and the yang. They cover the heart chakra. They cover all the upper chakras as well as some of the lower ones, especially depending on how long you hang them. Because some of them, for example, if you use, let's just say you're using hematite. Hematite's a good example. You're using hematite, and it's calming you. It's calming your upper chakras, and you feel calm. But if you have a really long hematite necklace, then it's covering your lower chakras as well, and it's just kind of having a yin-yang effect because it's on the yin and on the yang. So, for example, if you're just starting out with a crystal, just put it in your pocket. Just wear it. Doesn't matter. But eventually you can put one crystal of each in your pockets, because now if you have pyrite in your left pocket, you're receiving the energies of manifestation, you're receiving the energies of wealth, you're receiving business. You're just receiving what you need from that pyrite. But when you put it on your right side, people are like, oh, because the pyrite is the projecting side, it's the releasing side. So people are like, oh, you're releasing money. You shouldn't have put the pyrite on your right side, because people can make anything. I mean, that's how they actually, that's how I've seen so many people twist the words of the Bible and use it to bash and just put other people down, is because they just twist the words. It's like, oh, if you put the pyrite on the right side of your body, you're just giving away money. No. No. If you put the pyrite on the right side of the body, the blockages that you have relating to finances and manifestation and business, the blockages are getting released. Is it still doing its yin properties? Is it still doing the receiving properties? Yeah, but to a very minor extent, it's working on pushing it out. Because keep in mind, think of it like this. Our heart is on the left side of our bodies. That's our receiving side energetically. Everything with energy, with messages from higher guides, with just everything when it comes to spirituality and messages, is that we receive it on our left side. We project. Most of you are right-handed. Just think of everything as projecting with the right side. Makes it pretty easy, right? Well, it is pretty easy. You just wear the crystal, you just put it on your... I mean, when you start out, it doesn't really matter because you're just getting used to the energy of the crystal. I would not put certain crystals, like crown chakra crystals, third eye. I mean, it really depends on the crystal, but be careful what crystal you put below your pockets, like around your legs or on your feet. You can't sell anklets, or you can't make anklets. You can't wear anklets of a heart chakra around your ankle. It's gonna really mess you up. You can't wear a high crown chakra, like for example, Danburite. If you wear Danburite as an anklet, you're gonna be so disassociated. You will be completely out of touch. You will just be completely zapped. You'll have all the symptoms of someone who has like ADHD or something like that. Like you're not gonna be able to focus. You're gonna be like you're gonna be stressed out. You're gonna be like, just because your cords are cut. What's the tree without the roots? It's just gonna fall over, and you're gonna feel ungrounded and just flighty and just not feel yourself because you're wearing it as an anklet, and it's not okay to wear like a heart chakra crystal, especially the heart chakra crystal, because the heart chakra is the highest frequency of all of the chakras. It puts off such a high frequency, and you put that on your root star chakra, which is like your anklet. That's gonna mess you up. I learned that the really, really hard way. I remember making a bloodstone anklet, and I was just like, whoa. And I was like, I put the anklet on, and I'm just like, okay. I'm like, is this normal? And I realized it was not normal. So when you use crystals, just make sure anklets are just the only exception of that. I might make a whole video talking about anklets, but anklets are a very specific kind of energy. They have a specific power on their own, but how to use your crystals? You pray over them. You ask God to activate them. You ask your ancestors and your angels to activate the crystals. You put your faith in them, because your faith over fear. If you use your disbeliefs to counter the crystals, you're going to cancel out the crystal's energies. Acupuncture is the practice of putting needles in someone's skin and healing them that way. It's literally needles in the skin. It's needles inside your body, and people can reject that with their own energy. If they don't believe it works to such an extent, that the energy in their body will counter the acupuncture, and it will work. So same thing with crystals, same thing with anything else. If you don't believe your diet's gonna work for you, your body's actually gonna fight whatever you're doing. That's how it works with everything. It's so simple and so easy. Just don't counter it with your own energy. And even if you're not actively countering it with your own energy, don't counter it with just your actions as well. People like, oh, I wanna love other people, like I wanna be more loving, and you wear rose quartz, but you're cursing out your server at Burger King, for example. I don't know. I'm the king of examples, apparently, but align your actions with the crystal and what they do, and it's gonna work wonderful for you. If you're someone who's new to crystals, don't just Some people put some unrealistic expectations on how to use their crystals. People are like, oh, my hematite's gonna get me like levitating. My hematite's gonna get me like just running on all fours and just making me like crazy like the Romans used to be when they were the hematite. Not really. No, hematite, you have to like, oh, my citrine's gonna make me win every lottery game I ever play. Some people do have luck like that. It is possible, but be realistic. Like, if you have to start off with some grounding crystals, it's very easy. How to use your crystals? It's very easy. Like I said, I'm going to recap it one more time because I've gotten my point across on how to use crystals. It's actually very, very, very easy. It shouldn't be complicated to any of you. If it's been complicated even after I explain it, then you're just overthinking it and doubting your intuition. So now, how do you program your crystals? How to use your crystals? You pray over them, you program them, you expect them to work, you put them on either side of your body. That's it. And then they automatically work. You cleanse them and charge them every single day, and it'll work perfectly for you. That's everything. That's how to use your crystals. They act like Wi-Fi. They're doing their own thing all the time by themselves. That's pretty much it. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment sections. Until then, I will see you guys next time. Ciao!